Zana and welcome to Year 2 Phonics Lesson 30. It's our review lesson today. Let's start with our grapheme deck. Are you ready? Going to see if you can remember the two sounds that the grapheme S is going to make today. See how you go. Short sound, E. Long sound, E. Short, A. Long, A. Two sounds. O, U. Think moon book. Short, I. Long, I. O. A. Sh. I and E. Think piece of pie. O. And ow. Three sounds. D, d, t means past tense. Ooh, this is the one where we've got our split vowels. Let's pop in a s today. Ace, is, ice, O's, U's. Did you get them all? A little bit fun. V, no English word ends in a V, must be followed by an E. A, end of words. TCH making ch, end of words, short word following a short vowel. Or, and two sounds, what were they? S and z. Z as in rose. Do you remember that one? So we have been learning that the grapheme S can make the phoneme Z in words. And that's our learning intention for today. We had a little memory hook sentence as well. Does this look familiar? The rose grows in the sun. This gives us our choices for the phoneme that the S grapheme can make. Z as in rose and grows, and S as in sun. The S grapheme makes the Z phoneme when it's in between two vowels or at the end of a word sometimes. Let's use that S grapheme making the Z phoneme to read and write some words. But before we do, almost forgot, we've got our new suffix that we have learnt, which was less, which meant without. This is going to be somewhere in our review today as well. Keep your eyes peeled. Are you ready for our first part of our review? It's dictation time. Listen to the sentence. I'll repeat it a couple of times. Make sure you've got something to write on and something to write with, and come back ready. Okay, you ready for that sentence? Remember, if you think you can write it straight away, once I've said it a couple of times, you can pause the video, go off and write it. If you think you need a little bit more help, just keep that video rolling and I'll give you some clues as you go. Here's the sentence. The kids turned the music down because baby Rose was restless. Did you hear some of those S making and Z sounds in there? Let's have it again. The kids turned the music down because baby Rose was restless. If you think you're good to go and write it straight away, pause the video, go and write it. If you need a little bit of help, I'll scoop the phrases and give you some spelling choices. You ready? The kids. Remember what's making that Z sound at the end of the words today? The grapheme, like this one. Kids, the kids. Next bit. Turned the music. Turned the music. The in turned is like the in surf. It's you are. The kids turned the music. Remember that Z sound in music is going to be the grapheme S today. The kids turned the music down. Ow as in cow. Check through the whole sentence. The kids turned the music down because, that's a tricky word. I sometimes like to remember a little mnemonic sentence. The start of all these words can make the word because. Big elephants can always understand small elephants. B-E-C-A-U-S. E, because. Because. So the kids turned the music down because baby Rose, remember baby, end of a short word, is that Y? And Rose, it's a proper noun. What are you going to need? Let's read the sentence so far. The kids turned the music down because baby Rose was restless. Was restless. There's that less suffix that we've been using. Are you ready to check the whole sentence? If you've written the whole sentence and you come back ready, let's check it. I'm going to put it on the board, see how you go. Are you ready? Let's check. Check your work before. Make sure you've got capital at the start and a full stop and that it makes sense. The kids turned the music down because baby Rose was restless. You got all those words? Let's check them. The kids, you hear that Z sound in there? Turned the music, there's a Z in there, down because baby, two-syllable word, baby Rose. Did you get that capital for Rose? Remember, it's a name. She's not a baby flower. She's a baby. She's got a name, Rose. Was restless. Do you remember your suffix, less? She wasn't getting any rest, baby Rose, because the music was too loud. The kids had to turn it down. Carefully check your work. Make sure you've written it really neatly. If you could do a little bit better writing it neatly, or if you've made any mistakes with your spelling, write it again and give yourself lots of ticks for having another go. Let's get ready to read our reading passage. Now you've done all the writing for the dictation, let's see how we put it together when we read. So hopefully I can stick it up nice and straight for you. I'm going to read first. You listen. Keep your ears tuned to whether you can hear the S grapheme making the Z phoneme in any of these words. Also see if you can hear the suffix less in any of these words. Ready to listen? Sam tried the last of the keys, and to his surprise, it fit the lock. Effortlessly turning it clockwise, the old wooden door sprang open. He moved between the ferns to find himself in a magic garden with leaves every shade of green. Wild roses were clinging to the walls of this enclosed secret garden. The rose petals reflected the last of the sun's rays, and they looked like priceless gems. Right in front of Sam's nose, frogs were hopping along the fallen logs. His clothes were now tattered and torn after rediscovering the place that had been his grandfather's project many years before. At that moment, Sam understood that his tireless efforts were not thankless. This hidden, long-forgotten place was amazing. Can you picture that? Read that beautiful secret garden, and there's green leafy plants everywhere and beautiful roses, and the sun's just coming in and making the petals sparkle like gems. Be a beautiful place to be. Let's have a look and see at where we can find that grapheme S making the Z sound. Sam tried the last, it's not that one, of the keys. Oh, there it is. And to his surprise, it fit the lock. Effortlessly turning it clockwise, the old wooden door sprang open. So there were some S's making S in there and some S's making Z. Do we pick them up? Can you feel them, hear them? It's always a way to double check. He moved between the ferns to find himself in a magic garden with leaves. Leaves. Let's check it. Leaves. Leaves. I can hear it. I'm voicing it. Leaves, every shade of green. Wild roses. I know that word because that's our prompt word. Wild roses. Oh, there's two in there. Roses. Were clinging to the walls of this, oh, don't get tricked, that one's not, enclosed, oh, this is enclosed, secret garden. The rose petals, oh, there's a lot of them in here, reflected the last of the sun's rays. Oh, there it is again at the end. And they looked like priceless gems. Right in front of Sam's nose, oh, there's one. Frogs were hopping along the fallen logs. Oh, there's another one. His clothes, oh, clothes. Well, I don't think I hear it in that one. Clothes, no. His clothes were now tattered and torn after rediscovering the place that had been his, that's definitely, grandfather's, yep, project many years, definitely hear it there, before. Whoa, this has been a long time since anyone's been in this garden. At that moment, Sam understood that his tireless efforts were not thankless. This hidden, long-forgotten place was amazing. Oh, and look, and there's a Z, but there's actually the grapheme Z making that one. So, right sound, different grapheme one, amazing. How did you go? Did you find them all? Did I miss any? I think I got them all. I was looking really carefully. There are a lot of words with less in there though too. So let's quickly, I'm going to change colours. Let's quickly underline the words that had our suffix less in them. Let's see what they mean in this story. Sam tried the last of the keys and to his surprise, it fit the lock effortlessly. Ooh, it's got two suffixes on the end of it, less and ly. So he did it without effort, effortlessly. So there we go, effortlessly, turning it clockwise, the old wooden door sprang open. He moved between the ferns to find himself in a magic garden with leaves every shade of green. Wild roses were clinging to the walls of this enclosed secret garden. The rose petals reflected the last of the sun rays and they looked like priceless gems. Priceless. You can't put a price on them. They're without price. They are so expensive that you couldn't buy them even if you wanted to. Priceless. Right in front of Sam's nose, I'm just going to look now. Instead of reading, I'm going to look for less. I'm going to scan. Oh, there's one. Tireless. Tireless. Oh, that's a funny word. Tireless, without tire. It's not like car tires, though. It's like tired. If you are tired, if you are tired, you have a bit of, tired. Tireless means you're not tired. Tireless efforts were not thankless. Not without thanks. Oh, there we go. We've got those ones. Now it's your turn to read and scoop the phrases. I'm going to scoop. You're going to echo read me just behind me. We'll scoop the phrases. You read it as we go. Remember to have a look because there's a couple of bits of punctuation in here that will help with our fluency and help us to read this in a really good way. So we've got an exclamation here, something surprising or exciting. And there's another exclamation right at the very end when we find the garden. It's amazing. So remember, we want to read, when we read with fluency, we want to read with a bit of expression as well. I'm going to scoop the phrases. I'm going to make it sound exciting and interesting. Follow along with me. Sam tried the last of the keys, and to his surprise, it fit the lock because it was so exciting. He had this big bundle of keys, maybe. Effortlessly turning it clockwise, the old wooden door sprang open. He moved between the ferns to find himself in a magic garden with leaves every shade of green. Every shade. There was no colours of green that were not in that garden. There were leaves that were every shade of green. That's pretty amazing. So we kind of emphasise that. Wild roses were clinging to the walls of this enclosed secret garden. Secret garden. So I'm going to drop my voice a bit. It's a secret. No one's been there for a long time. The rose petals reflected the last of the sun rays, and they looked like priceless gems. Right in front of Sam's nose, frogs were hopping along the fallen logs. Can you close it? Close your eyes. I can see those little frogs hopping along the fallen logs, can you? All that green. His clothes were now tattered and torn after rediscovering the place that had been his grandfather's project many years before. It's been a long time since his grandfather's been in this garden. At that moment, Sam understood that his tireless efforts were not thankless. This hidden, long forgotten place was amazing. No one had seen it. Long forgotten means people had forgotten about it and it was hidden. That's probably why people forgot, because they couldn't find it. Really gives you a good picture. You can really picture everything happening in that story. There's a lot of really good descriptions in there. Can you find anywhere, maybe in this paragraph, can you find anything that is a simile? A simile is when we compare something to something else. We say it's like that. Can you see in here a simile? It helps to build that mental picture when we use similes. Here it is, like. So the petals looked like priceless gems because the sun was coming in and making them sparkle like priceless gems. So they didn't look just like boring rose petals. They looked like beautiful gems. You can picture that in your head as the sunlight comes in. It's the last of the sun rays. What time of day it is? You think it's gone in the morning? Last of the sun rays? Could be near the end of the day. Maybe that's why his clothes are tattered and torn. We've got two describing words there, tattered and torn. So we want to know that his clothes aren't just a little bit messy. They've gotten completely messed up and they're tattered and they're torn and they're looking really bad because he's had to move between the ferns. I wonder if those ferns were prickly or stuff. So he's had to do that. And so as he's moved through the ferns, his clothes have gotten all messed up. So you can really picture this story. The author has used lots of different things to really help us work out what's happening in this story. And we know the story is about someone called Sam. Who do we think Sam is? Sam a boy or a girl? How do we know? Could be a boy's name, could be a girl's name, Sam. What in here tells us whether it's a boy or a girl? I can see some pronouns. His. So Sam's a boy. Do you think Sam's a young boy or is he an old man? What do you picture? I picture Sam being maybe a young boy, maybe a teenager. He's not really old because he's there finding his grandfather's thing and he's had to battle through the ferns. And so I think he's a bit younger maybe. Maybe he's the same age as you. Maybe your name's Sam and you found a secret garden. Well done. We've come to the end of our review. We've done some reading. We've done some writing. We've used the grapheme S, making the phoneme Z, and we've used the suffix less to read and write words. So now we're ready for our independent activity. Your independent activity today is to pick one of the two passages that will come up on your screen, read it carefully, close your eyes, picture a beautiful scene, picture what the passage is telling you, and to illustrate the passage. So read the passage 3 times for fluency. Remember the first time usually we're a little bit slower if we have to scoop out some multi-syllable words and sound out words and tap them out. Second time, read a little bit more fluently. Third time, read it even better and put heaps of expression in it, make it really interesting. You might even want to read with someone at home. You might read together. You might say, come read this with me. I'm getting really good at it. And then we'd like you to illustrate something from that story. What comes into your head? What mental pictures can you make? So that's your independent activity. Thanks for working with me today. You've done a great job of your review. I'll catch you next time.